Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Liv Morgan is in disbelief after Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair recently filmed a video with WWE legend The Boogeyman. Reacting to the video, Morgan sent a message to the reigning women's tag team champions. Cargill, Belair, and Morgan will all be in action at the upcoming Crown Jewel Premium Live event. The Miracle Kid will face Nia Jax to crown the first ever Crown Jewel Women's Champion. Meanwhile, the women's tag team champions will put their gold on the line in a four-way contest. On Instagram, Morgan reacted to the Boogeyman's prank on Cargill and Belair with a 5-word message. Liv Morgan has expressed interest in facing AJ Lee in a mixed tag team match. The reigning WWE Women's World Champion wants to team up with Dominic Mysterio to lock horns with Lee and her husband, CM Punk. In an interview with the Schmo, Morgan said the following about the potential showdown. At the Bad Blood Premium Live event, Liv Morgan retained the Women's World Championship over Rhea Ripley with an assist from the returning Raquel Rodriguez. However, the feud between Morgan and Ripley seems far from over, and a trilogy between them could be in the cards. In a stunning turn of events, Liv Morgan found herself not only shocked but visibly rattled after a series of actions by two of the most dominant forces in WWE today, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. What should have been a straightforward night for Morgan and her tag team partner in the Women's Tag Team Championship picture turned into an emotional roller coaster, and in the aftermath, the SmackDown superstar was left grappling with the consequences of what went down, while sending a powerful message to the reigning women's tag team champions. It all started during an intense and high-stakes 6-woman tag match designed to showcase the top contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Liv Morgan and her partner, Raquel Rodriguez, were set to face off against the team of Becky Lynch and Tegan Nox. The match was already set to be a show-stealer, but as the bell rang, it quickly turned into something far more personal than anyone could have anticipated. The chaos began when, midway through the match, Jade Cargill, who had made a surprise appearance earlier in the night, decided to make her presence felt. With a striking presence and a dominant demeanor, Cargill wasn't just there to watch. She had an agenda. While the referee was distracted, she blindsided Raquel Rodriguez with a devastating pump kick, sending her to the outside. The crowd erupted, and as the action inside the ring continued, it became apparent that this was no mere distraction. What followed was something even more unexpected. Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE, who had previously formed a close bond with Liv Morgan in recent months, suddenly found herself on the opposite side of the equation. With Cargill taking out Raquel, Belair stepped into the ring and, without hesitation, executed a brutal KOD, kiss of death, on Liv Morgan, her once ally. The arena was in disbelief. Liv Morgan, who had been known for her infectious energy, her high-flying spirit, and her resilience, was now crumpled in the ring, her back on the canvas, staring up at the bright lights with a look of complete confusion. She had no time to process what had just happened, as Belair and Cargill, now aligned, took control of the match. As the bell rang, signaling the end of the match, it was clear that something had shifted in the women's division. Belair and Cargill stood tall, their expressions cold and calculated. On the other side, Liv Morgan slowly sat up, clutching her ribs, her face a mixture of disbelief, hurt, and betrayal. The referee tried to check on her, but it was clear that the emotional weight of the situation was taking a toll. She had trusted Bianca, and she had trusted the world of WWE to stay true to the competitive spirit. But in that moment, everything felt like a lie. Backstage, Liv Morgan, still nursing the emotional wounds of the betrayal, took to social media to address the shocking turn of events. The normally upbeat and determined Liv took a much more somber tone, making it clear to the world that she was not just hurt physically but emotionally as well. With a heartfelt message, she turned her focus toward the women's tag team champions, who had now found themselves at the center of a power struggle they likely weren't ready for. To the women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan began, her words laced with a mixture of frustration and determination. You might think you've got everything under control, that you've finally made it to the top and everything is in your hands. But let me tell you something, you haven't seen anything yet. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair might think they can intimidate me, or maybe they think they can just walk all over me. But that's not how this works. You don't get to take someone down just because you think you can. You don't get to break me. I've fought harder than anyone in this business to get to where I am, and I'm not about to let these so-called dominant forces, define my path. To the champions, I've got news for you. I'm coming for those titles. No, it's not going to be a fun little walk in the park. It's not going to be easy, but you don't get to steal my spotlight, and you certainly don't get to steal my shot at glory. Jade Bianca, you may have your strength, you may have your power, but there's one thing you can't take from me, and that's heart. I've got the heart of a champion, and that's something you can't match. I fought through every obstacle, every setback, and every betrayal. You don't get to dictate my future. I'll decide how this story ends, and I promise you, this chapter is far from over. Liv's words echoed through social media, and the response was overwhelming. Fans rallied behind her, showing their support, while whispers backstage suggested that Liv's fiery resolve had caught the attention of some key figures in the women's division. While Liv Morgan's message was directed at the current champions, it also sent a broader signal to the entire women's division. With Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair now standing together as a formidable faction, many wondered how long it would be before they started to dominate the tag team landscape in a way that could be disastrous for the rest of the roster. But Liv's statement had already planted the seeds of a potential rebellion. The wrestling world had seen similar power struggles before. Historically, those who attempted to bully or control the landscape would often find themselves up against forces more than willing to take a stand. Whether Liv would find allies in the form of Raquel Rodriguez, or perhaps even someone like Charlotte Flair, was yet to be seen. But what was clear was that Liv Morgan wasn't backing down. And so, the stage was set. The next few weeks would be pivotal for the Women's Tag Team Championship picture. Liv Morgan had made her declaration. She wasn't just going to stand on the sidelines anymore. Whether she'd succeed in her quest for the titles or not, one thing was certain. She had already won the respect of those who believed in the spirit of competition, proving once again that no matter the odds, she would never stop fighting. The women's tag team champions, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, might have been dominant for now, but the real battle had just begun.